Things you didn't know about cabin crew, part 18, let's go! Do we get any airport perks while we're working? Of course we do! The thing I hate most about airports are these awful long lines. When we're working, we go straight to the front of the line for all the security checks. We get to bypass the customs line. And the valet has our luggage waiting for us. And we go outside where a shuttle like this will be waiting for us to take us to our hotel. Now that's VIP service. I'm so cool. Things you didn't know about cabin crew, part 20, let's go! In order to handle all types of emergencies, cabin crew is required to take security training. There will be some situations where we need to restrain passengers because they've become really violent, and we are trained to use this as a last resort. Sometimes we even get help from other passengers. But this will only happen as a last resort. I know one day of security training doesn't sound like enough. We will do whatever is necessary to protect our passengers and our fellow crew. Also, I don't need training because estoy loca. Sorry to interrupt whatever you're doing, but there's a passenger choking another passenger in there. What? I'll save you! Things you didn't know about cabin crew, part 21, let's go! So what happens when there's a death on board? In the event that someone passes away on flight, most airlines do have body bags on board. We would most likely move the body to an empty row or another class, but if it's a full flight, possibly remain in their seat or in the galley. Also, cabin crew cannot legally declare death on board. This is only done after landing by local authorities. I don't know if I should tell you guys this, but I will because I tell you everything. Commercial flights also transport human remains in cargo, so the next time you fly, there might be a dead body underneath you and you don't even know it. Things you didn't know about cabin crew, part 22, let's go! At restaurants and hotels, people usually tip for great service. So do cabin crew get tips for great service? For Emirates, we're not allowed to receive cash tips. However, we do receive gifts from time to time. I've personally received lots of snacks, perfume, and even a gold bracelet. However, there are exceptions to this no cash tip rule. A colleague of mine had the chance to fly with Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum and his family. He ended up tipping the captain, first officer, and the purser the equivalent of $5,000 USD each, as well as each of the cabin crew $1,000 cash. And of course they can accept this because, well, he owns Emirates. Things you didn't know about cabin crew, part 23, let's go! There's a trending topic right now that I will address based on my personal experience. Do we clean the coffee pots in the coffee machine? I have never personally cleaned it. Then does the ground crew clean it? I don't know, you gotta ask someone who's ground crew, but personally I thought they would clean it or, exchange the pots at least. Is the coffee and tea safe to drink? I drank a minimum of 5 cups every shift and clearly, I'm still alive. As for my health, I think I'm okay. But for my mental health may be questionable, but that's from the passengers, not from the coffee. If your goal is to become cabin crew one day, here are some tips that you can do right now to up your chances of being hired. Because of COVID, airlines aren't really hiring right now, but you can spend this time right now to prepare yourself. Cabin crew deal with a lot of emergency situations, so if you can get your first aid certification beforehand, it is a bonus. This one's a little hard, but if you can, learn another language. A second language is not always required, but it is a huge asset, so they will choose you over somebody else if you do know another language. I also recommend that you get a job as a server at any restaurant. Any customer service role helps as well. Just make sure you have some sort of experience before applying. Travel tips you might not know about. Let's go! If you are flying within, to, or from the United States and you were involuntarily bumped off your flight due to an overbooking, don't accept the voucher! Not only are the airlines required to find your alternative flight, but depending on the length of the delay, you are entitled to cash. For domestic flights, you are entitled up to $1,350 cash based on your one-way ticket price. For international flights, the compensation is the same, but the delayed times are different. Go get that cash. Where are the 20 meals that were here? I gave it out already. How did you give them out if I have the vegetarian list right here? M! It was labeled special meals! Yeah, I gave it to the passengers that were really nice and I thought was special. Oh no. What do we do now? Just pick out the chicken from the regular meals. That's disgusting. You can't touch people's food. Do you want to deal with 20 hangry passengers?
Call this chicken picking.
Excuse me, sir. You need to put your laptop away. We're landing soon. That rule is stupid. Sir, it's for your safety. Don't worry, I'll be fine, okay? Sir, if you don't care about your safety, that's totally up to you. What I do care about is in case of a rough landing, your laptop will smash the face of the person next to you. As we're performing additional mechanical checks, our flight is now delayed 30 minutes. Oh my, of course it is. It's for our safety, ma'am. So now I'm gonna be late for my dad's surprise birthday party. Not much of a surprise if I'm late. I had no idea. You're right. Let me see what I can do. Captain, we gotta go now. Lady's late for a party. Let's go, let's go. Flight tip for plugged ears in the plane. Let's go. These are some of the common ways to unplug your ears on a flight. Chewing gum, yawning, drinking something, taking a decongestant before the flight, and also nasal spray. And if none of those work, here's a flight tip that I use on every single flight, and I know other crew members use this as well. However, there are risks to this technique, so if you do not do this properly, you can damage your eardrums. Also guys, remember, I'm not a doctor, so if there are any EMT doctors out there that watch this, maybe you can duet this or comment and let us know what the risks are if we use this technique. This is what you do. You're going to plug your nose, close your mouth, and blow slowly out of your nose until you hear a pop. That's it. Here is a flight tip for all the beautiful plus-size passengers. As I was scrolling through the comments on this recent video, many of you have mentioned that you get a lot of anxiety asking for a seatbelt extender in front of all the other passengers. So here is a tip for you. When you are boarding the plane, ask a crew member at this time for that seatbelt extender. Some airlines actually keep the seatbelt extenders right where you're boarding, so they'll give it to you right away. And if they don't have it there, that's okay. You can give them your seat number, and after boarding is completed, they'll be able to give you a seatbelt extender without you even having to ask for it. So the only person that'll hear you is a crew member while everyone else is busy boarding. I hope your next flight is going to be better. The passenger in 40C was like rude to me for no reason. Hey, I know, this job is hard sometimes. Is this funny to you, Lindsay? Hey, I just want to say sorry for being rude to you earlier. What did you say to him? I just told him if he doesn't apologize to you for being an ass, and I'm going to share this photo of him that I found with his pants down on every single screen on this plane. But that's not true. He doesn't know that.